finally won a game, huh? Rocco, can we get a round of applause for the Raiders who actually won a game? Wow. Good. It kept it short. That's good.
Did you watch the game this morning, 6:30?
This morning?
Are you a Packers fan?
I am.
Did you know they played at 6:30 a.m.?
I did not. I don't follow football like I used to. What do you want me to say?
They're playing in London, so they
Too
were
busy. I'm deep into crypto, my dude. Anyways, happy Monday and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'm one of your co-hosts, and we're coming at you from our studio here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays live shows. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer: nothing that anyone says on this channel should be taken as financial advice. So please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content, today we have a guest joining us. Jason from A Chain of Links will be joining us to talk everything crypto. Also, the Fed had an emergency meeting, and we might know why. And could they be ready to pivot? We'll talk about that. Plus, some Bitcoin analysis and Coinbase. People were having issues withdrawing and putting money on the exchange, along with many other issues. We'll break all of that down and much, much more. But before we can break all of that down and much, much more, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, and the stale information and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do deep dives. We do crypto street interviews here on the Las Vegas Strip. And we also are active on social media. So if you're not following us on all of our social media accounts, go check us out. We have a lot of fun on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And did I miss anything? Any of those social media platforms?
No.
No, that's all.
I don't think so.
And also, do us a favor. Hit the like button. This like button has seen better days. We'll remodel this thing tomorrow, perhaps. You see here, it's... I think when I was trying to kill the fly and I was hit, we had a battle. It was us against the fly.
Versus.
Yeah. We haven't had a versus in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? David is starting to agree with everything I say.
That's not true.
He thinks
You're such a liar.
He doesn't think that my take is that outlandish anymore because time and time again I've proven to be a savvy, intellectual. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. And
yeah.
then,
What are you talking about? The Packers did not play this morning. They played yesterday.
Did they play this morning?
No.
I thought they had the London game or whatever.
That was the Vikings.
You sure?
Yes.
How
Okay.
sure are you?
Pretty sure.
They played this morning,
No,
man.
they did not.
They're like 6:30 a.m. It's like London time. Did you even know if they won or lost?
Yeah, they won. Against the Patriots.
All right. So
All right.
let's get right into it. Gonna get into that. Roll call. All right. So first up in the chat today, we got Liquidated Shorts. Congratulations, Liquidated Shorts. You are a proud winner of a round of applause. Now we got Moby Sage. We have Stereo 2. Why You Loud, Atomic Atom, Sean Burns, Mervin, Strictly Sports, Marky Mark, Crypto Yogurt, and then Noel, Nordy Guy, and Big Chili Willie, Jay Danielo, Crit Cats, and then we also got 151 Crypto, and then Hindi, and Cali Fishing, and Redman rounds it out. So kind of a quiet start today on the chat here, guys. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? Why are you so quiet? Can I catch your tongue?
Crypto need Red Bull. Did you name that one?
Crypto need Red Bull.
I need a Red Bull.
I do need a Red Bull.
You do? Rocco, do we have any Red Bulls in the fridge?
No.
I wonder why.
Chamomile.
And George Ornelius in here at the last second. All right. So how'd you feel about the weekend? Nothing really moved.
No, we were a little surprised Bitcoin didn't have a big swing either way.
Mm-hmm.
With all the end of quarter, end of month, end of week options expiring on Friday. But there is some bullish news, and we'll get into that with our channel favorite Forrest here in a few minutes.
Also, other bullish news. Your boy gonna be on Around the Blockchain today. Gonna be there. Y'all gonna be there? You gonna be there, David?
Yes.
All right.
Also,
Rocco, you gonna be there?
If if you guys are going to be in Las Vegas for the Cardano NFT convention, CNFT, put a 1 in the chat and let's link up. We would love to hang out with our community outside of the live shows. So, all right, I don't want to waste any time.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. All right, so Bitcoin sitting at $19,541.02. And as you see here on the weekly, right at that 19K, you know, the 20,000 is starting to become more and more of a resistance. And I know we discussed this before, you know, outside of this, how long was this range here? 4 days? Outside of it trading over 20K, basically we were just rejecting off of the top here. Now, going back on the 3 months, it wasn't so much, you know, we have the 20K line here lined up there at the bottom, or, you know, towards in the lower half. So you see that we have flipped, and I think it's. I think I'm in agreement. Do you agree, David, that 20K is major resistance at this point? I mean, it flipped, right?
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. So, because before, if you right here, this was the start of last week, or roughly right around here, and so. If you were to look at this before last week, you could make a very compelling argument that 20K was extreme support. But
right.
I think at this point,
no, it's definitely resistance.
Yeah. So now to get a little bit before we go into the other altcoins, we're just going to go dive right into some more TA and perspective on Bitcoin price action, and who better to do it but our fan favorite, Forrest. So. Whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and
our main man. All right, let's get into it, my friends.
All right, so this headline is very interesting. Over 34,000 Bitcoin left exchanges on September 30th. So investors withdrew more than 34,500 Bitcoin from exchanges on September 30th. This is one of the largest Bitcoin withdrawals from exchanges since the massive Bitcoin sell-off in mid-June of 2022. All right, so what does this mean? This is a bullish signal for Bitcoin. And it begs the question, what is Q4 going to look like for Bitcoin, and what's it going to look like for the rest of the market? And look, I'd be lying, and anybody who tells you that they know exactly what's going to happen for the market in Q4 is lying. There are just too many uncertain variables floating around in the market right now to really tell how something as short of an outlook as the next 1 to 3 months is going to look. But we do have a historical backdrop. We can take a look at data, but there are some shorter term catalysts and variables that we should also factor in terms of our risk assessment. For example, right, we have a Russia-Ukraine situation escalating. We have the Fed raising and hiking interest rates very hawkishly. Will they pivot? Will they not pivot? We don't really know. We can speculate that, you know, now that the bond market started to break a little bit, now that some foreign currencies are having to defend their currencies, and we're seeing rapid depreciation of a lot of foreign currencies, that may put some pressure on the Fed to pivot sooner than we had previously thought. But there's so many variables at play here. We've got stuff going on geopolitically. We've got pipelines being disrupted, whether intentionally or not. There's a lot of stuff going on. So to sit and say, hey, we know exactly what the market's going to do in Q4 is kind of crazy. We can reasonably assess, however, that there's probably a lot of risk priced into the market right now. A lot of people are worried about, a lot of institutions, people, investors are worried about a major market crash, and rightfully so. Inflation's high, Fed's, all the reasons I just said. That's going to be pricing in a lot of risk. Now, if that risk starts to be relieved in one way or another, we could see a bullish case for Q4. I've been saying for a while, I do think there is a strong bullish case to be made for Q4. However, there are a lot of risky things happening in the market right now that could bring us down lower, both in the crypto market, the equities markets, and just overall in terms of pushing the global economy into recession. Now, if we just isolate for Bitcoin and we just talk about the crypto market, we can kind of talk about it through the lens of a risk asset, which has been very correlated with the S&P 500 lately, which has obviously been down, bouncing a little bit today on support. However, Bitcoin has been testing this demand zone and holding this demand zone incredibly well. Right? This is a large decrease in price, a large pullback, roughly 75% from all-time highs. Right? So right now you're getting Bitcoin at 75% off. And we've got some bullish signals like this article indicated saying, people are withdrawing and large entities are withdrawing Bitcoin from exchanges, meaning they're very likely deploying capital here for the long term. I think if you're approaching this market, you should be approaching, not financial advice here, you should be approaching it in one of two ways. One is from the lens of a trader and you're taking very short-term trades, just very simply trading, making some of these range trades, looking to close them, intraday or intra-week. But nothing too crazy here. Not looking to sit and predict a large swing up or down in the next month or two. I think the immediate term is just too uncertain, and we're going to have too much volatility to really make that worth doing, make the risk to reward on that positive. However, if we look at it in terms of market cycles and the long term, and we look at this over the course of multiple years, all of a sudden, this looks like a very logical place to deploy capital. It looks somewhat similar to previous bottoms we've seen where we've taken trips down to the green easy bands and then run up into the 21-week simple moving average, and then seen a full rally from there on. We're about to be, potentially about to be testing our 21-week simple moving average. If we can get through it, maybe we see a bear market rally. It is uncertain. But what we're seeing, what I'm seeing from this data here, 34K Bitcoin leaving exchanges, what we're seeing in the Nansen Smart Money dashboards as far as Ethereum and Ethereum liquid staking, Ethereum derivatives, and wrapped Bitcoin accumulations from smart money over the last 30 days is that there is capital being deployed in here, very likely for the long term. We also know that in midterm election years, which we're in one right now, the entire year leading up till October is horrible. And then October kicks in and it's off to the races, right? Will this year be different? Right now, keep in mind, this analysis for midterm election years takes into account some of the worst. It takes into account from 1931, and the data doesn't change much if you go back to the year 1900, right? So this takes into account years where we had wars, years where we had recessions, we just really bad economic circumstances like we have right now. So will Q4 be a top performing quarter? There's a bull case to be made. We know historically for Bitcoin, October is one of the best performing months, and Q4 is one of the best performing quarters. We know that September and January, but particularly September, is by far the worst performing month, right? We got out relatively unscathed this month compared to what we've seen in the past. Or I'm sorry, we got out relatively unscathed in September relative to what we've seen in the past. So far in October, we're down 0.1%. We're flat. Historically, we've seen really top performing months in October for Bitcoin. This is going to be very interesting. We've had really solid Q4s. We know that there is room for Bitcoin to move upwards, right? It's not like we're counting on a big Q4 to happen and we're already here up in the red easy bands facing resistance. That's not the case. We have a lot of room to run to the upside. Now, that's not to say that some, global macro stuff can't come in and push us lower, but there is a scenario where crypto does well in Q4. There's a scenario where crypto does really well for the next couple of years. As we start to see these really poor performances out of a lot of currencies, including the dollar. Even though the dollar's very strong right now, it is the strongest currency in the world, is undergoing or experiencing 8% inflation, right? So this entire experience of what's going on right now is undermining people's faith in fiat currency and building a stronger and stronger narrative for the future for crypto. So I know it's dicey right now, but there is a Q4 bull case to be made. Again, nothing's guaranteed, but even, looking at the next 2, 3, 4 years, there's a strong case to be made for crypto, and there's a strong case to be made for the deployment of capital in this region, right? Could it go lower? Absolutely. But there is lots of room to run. I hope this little segment was helpful. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
All right. Interesting. What kind of just share your overall thoughts, Rob, before I kind of interject.
Well, I think the message here, and is somewhere where I kind of land in the same area, is that there's two big movements that are going to come out of this, and I know it might sound elementary, but I think we're going to get a big rally, and going.
When you say big rally,
yeah, I think we're back testing maybe 30K again. At the same time, we could break the trend and be down in that 12K. I think it's more likely to get down to 12, 13, 14, 15K, somewhere in there. You maybe wick down to 12K or maybe 11 on Bitcoin's price, bounce back, settle in around 15 or 16,000. I think that's more likely in my scenarios.
What about a push to 30 and then down to 12?
I think that'll be way more prolonged. That'll take a lot longer. Now, it is kind of time for a rally, and with the midterms, as Forrest was saying, is historically a good time, but I just don't see the relief coming in the legacy markets. I think that we have uncertainty when it comes to the most stable banks in the world, which is, the Swiss.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
And so you have unstable markets there. And then you have the US DXY just out of control right now. And it doesn't seem like the euro and the pound, which are probably the biggest weighted against the DXY. I don't see them getting any relief coming up in the next few months, right? Because you're going into the thick of winter with the gas shortages. Now, on one end, you have those analytics that say, hey, not looking good for the legacy markets, the stock markets, the banks, just economies in general, countries' economies doesn't look good. But now, at the same time, you do have the midterms. You do have what would time out to be a pretty, the timing is kind of is there for the bounce. And
yeah, but don't forget that chart that Forrest showed with the S&P's performance during midterm years. Like he mentioned, that's from 1931. You got World War II in there. You got the Vietnam War. You got the inflation in the 70s and 80s. That's all been accounted for. And so are we worse off now than we were during World War II, during 2008 crash, during 2000 dot-com bubble burst? Are we worse off than the 70s and 80s inflation? Are we? And that sucker rally.
But here's the thing: you're also following the price of the S&P 500. This is stable now. Do risk on assets? Do those not rally during those turmoil periods? I think you can easily make a case for both sides, and I see the point of view of the perspective. With the case for crypto to rally here this month, I think everything is in line for it. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But if I had to lean a direction, if I were putting an investment for my own personal self, if I was putting in investment positions or buy orders or sell orders, I'm gonna be in the camp my personal self, and that we're gonna go lower. And
I think October is gonna be a green month. I don't know about 30K, but I can see 26, 27.
Okay.
So we'll see. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll see 30K first or 12K first? What do you guys think? You think October is going to be a month in the green? I don't know if Rocco wants to create a poll. He can. If not, just.
So let's take a glance at the rest of the markets here. So Ethereum at 1,300 and kind of the same zone. Everything in the top projects are pretty flat, and nothing here is really standing out. Now,
I do have an ETH chart, by the way.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look.
I'm going to tug it over real quick. So I have the this is Ethereum on the daily time frame. We had a decent head and shoulders here. This is dating all the way back in August of last year. So a massive head and shoulders pattern. And you can see here, as we broke below the neckline, we saw about a 44% width on this head, which is how you measure the move to the downside. We're down about close to 50% from this move of the break of the neckline, right here at $1,900 from May of this year. You can see we've broken above this the neckline, okay, which is your next level of resistance. Broke above, looks like we were getting ready to settle and make support on top, but we broke below it again. Same thing, except we made lower highs, but do have some good news for Ethereum price action, as you can see, and I'll draw it out in real time for you guys. So beautiful bull flag, move to the upside, followed by a descending parallel channel. You can see here, and I'll draw the second one. Bam. And what you want to see is, so that this is perfectly congruent right here. Neckline, top trend line here. We break above it. You're looking at $1,530. We want to come up, retest this, hold above it. Unlike here, where we stayed above it for a little bit and then broke down again, we want to stay above, make support, and go up to the next level, which would be right around 1,800 to 2K. And this is on the larger time frame. So longer term, we were pretty bearish on price action for Ethereum, but in the shorter term, this might take some time to play out. Again, this is on the daily chart, but I would say in the next 3 to 6 months, we should see a nice move to the upside. I do see us retesting 2K once again.
Cool. So now we just put up a
poll
for where do you guys think Bitcoin's coming in at, 14 or 30K? Or do you think it's going to go somewhere else? Put your thoughts in the chat there.
Progresses.
And then let's see. And then taking a look at the traditional markets, the NASDAQ is up at 2%. So nice big rally. We did close September as the biggest drawdown September has ever had in U.S. history in the stock market. So pretty red month. And so naturally you would expect a bounce back. And as we were kind of discussing earlier, hey, what a better time to bounce than right before the midterms. So yeah. Now the crypto fear and greed index at 24. And then lastly, let's take a quick peek at the crypto bubbles as well. All right. And then on the daily, we have Elrond up 5%. We got was that Lido?
Dude, Quant's been ripping.
Luna Classic down 6.4% now as well. So we'll get a little perspective on Luna Classic today. We have somebody that's pretty involved in the ecosystem. We want to know, where's Do Kwon at? Where'd Do Kwon go? So yeah, we got somebody that's has a lot of experience in Luna Classic, or in Luna in general. So get his thoughts here in a little bit. Now, that's all I got here on my end, David.
All right, I got a couple more charts I want to share. All right, so this is the Dixie, the dollar index. You can see here we've been on this uptrending trend line here. Now, this is on the daily, by the way. So this trend line has been intact since February of this year, but it looks like we're kind of branching out a little bit. If we test this this bottom one, you're looking at $108 Dixie. If we test this top one, you're looking at $110 Dixie. Either way, it peaked out and it's coming down. So we'll keep our eye on that. Also wanted to take a look at XRP. If you are an XRP fan, throw an X in the chat. Let us know. Actually, some pretty bullish price action on XRP. So again, this is on the daily. It's a little more longer time frame. August 21 of last year, we've been following not exactly, but this descending trend line here. But we do have some good news. A couple of things I want to share. So the first thing is this price action here. It's what we talk about. When you break a big resistance level, you want to shoot up, retest it, make support on top, and go. This is even better as we wicked below, but closed right at that trend line, made another move to the upside, and now we are settling at that support level yet again. If this price action here holds and we make a move back up to the 48 to 50 cent range, I would feel extremely comfortable saying the local bottom for XRP is right at 44 cents. And so if you're looking at buying, this is not financial advice. I would wait to see how this price action unfolds at this trend level right now. Once we get up to that 47, 48 cents, we've closed maybe a couple candles in, I would feel extremely comfortable picking up XRP at 46, 47 cents. You're only 3 cents away from the bottom, guys. So don't get too greedy. Don't try to time it perfectly. And then, the last thing I wanted to throw on here, something I like to use for trend analysis and to see where the markets are is the Ichimoku Clouds, the Japanese charting technique. Takes 5 different moving averages and gives you something beautiful like this. So 5 points here, okay? The first point is cloud is green. This is good. Price is above the cloud. This is great. The lagging indicator here, goes 26 days backwards. This is above price and it's pointing up. This is great. Also, this 2 moving averages here. You have the 26-day moving average, which is the red, called the baseline, and the blue is a conversion line, which is a 9-day moving average. You want to see the blue above the red, which is great. Only thing we want to see now is price close above our baseline or above our conversion line, which is the blue line. So that'll put us right around 47 cents. If we can close above it and everything else stays the same, not even changes, just stays the same, this is great for XRP in the short term. Also, if you take a look at oversold, overbought, we're right in the middle. So no worries about the market being too oversold, too overbought, which obviously is pretty good when you're expecting a big move. And then if I hide this and just throw on the Bollinger Bands, starting to constrict, which is good. I would expect this to kind of settle in right around this median line here. So if you're an XRP fan, looks like we're a little bullish here on the price action in the short term. So that is all I got. Robin?
All right. Let's get into some articles in real quick.
All right. So I'm going to go here. So the first thing I want to talk about is, if you give me 2 seconds, let me pull this up. It's funny. We found this article first and then the tweet I'm going to show you. So we're going to go over this first. The UN calls on the United States Federal Reserve to halt interest rate hikes. This source from the Wall Street Journal. The United Nations claims that the U.S. Fed will push the global economy into a recession. A UN agency claims a percentage point rise of rates from the Fed lowers economic output in poor countries by almost a full percent. And this lasts for about 3 years. This is what the agency says. Now, Jerome Powell did state he doesn't take into account effect of rate hikes on other countries, but if I swap over, which is pretty funny, that this is from the actual Federal Reserve Board of Directors website. They had a closed board meeting, an emergency meeting today at 12:15. I believe this is Eastern time. A meeting of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System was held under expedited procedures. Matters considered: review and determination by the board of advance and discount rates to be charged by Federal Reserve banks. Also, review and determination of discount rates as well. I don't know if I said that in the first one or not. I did say it in the first one. Okay. So this isn't something they do very often. I'm not sure exactly how many times they've had an emergency meeting. I know There was a recent one back in, I believe, I want to say 2018. I could be wrong. Feel free to fact check me on that. But Robin, are we about to see a pivot? I mean, you can't tell me it's coincidence, right? The next meeting isn't slated until November 2nd or November 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, bro?
I don't know what's going on behind closed doors there, but obviously something's going down, right? And I think we're gonna get some big news come up this week. Excuse me.
You think so?
I think so, man. I don't foresee them all of a sudden like changing their direction. Even though this might be an emergency meeting,
why would you have an emergency meeting, bro?
Like, I'm trying to think. Okay, because at Jackson Hole and at the last press conference, it was just last week. It was last week, right? Yeah. Jerome Powell was pretty hawkish. He was not really vibing with slowing down the interest rate hikes, right? And so over and over again, question after question that he answered, his entire narrative was inflation's too high. We need to bring it down. We ain't going to slow down until inflation comes down. That's what the message was. And it was pretty much the same message that he had in the previous in Jackson Hole. So it's coming, man. It's not. I think the interest rate hikes are going to keep coming. I don't see them pivoting, and maybe they add on an extra interest rate hike.
So they're going to be like, "Oh, UN, you think we should stop? You know what? F you. We're not going to wait until the next one. We're going to call an emergency meeting and write. No way. There's no way, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Look,
I'm just brainstorming here.
Here's like at the end of the day, you guys, what you got to understand, like the U.S. dollar being the world reserve currency. We have, as a country, right? People put their faith in our dollars, in our currency, in our economy. We kind of have, like, I don't want to say an obligation, but we should think about the world, because what happens if the U.S. says, screw everyone, we don't care, we're going to do this? Well, guess what? People are going to be like,
you know what? That is, I'm a proud American, but let me tell you, we a lot of times are like, screw everybody else. America's great. Yeah. Like,
look,
I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, it is kind of like the U.S. mentality that when you got to protect yourself before you go help other people out. And right now, the economy's down globally, here in the U.S. especially. So I think if you're going to try to remedy the economic situation, you're going to start here before you go overseas, right? I'm just saying that's typically how things pan out in.
I'm just saying, man,
US.
if the U.S. just says screw all the countries, we don't care. I mean, it might be good for crypto and Bitcoin, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but like, wouldn't you, as a nation, wouldn't you be sick and tired of like what we can't control? Is it's something we can't control. It's relying on another government, not to mention the people look at our administration in the White House and they laugh at it. They have no trust in it, let alone Americans. You think they're going to be like, oh yeah, we want to keep putting all of our reserve money, all of our government money in US dollars, when they don't give a crap about our country or our economy or even the global economy. So what I think it might hurt in the long term, short term, no one's going away from the dollar. I had a conversation with someone saying, oh, people are going to start dumping the dollar. I'm like, bro, the dollar is the world reserve currency. If they dump the dollar, where are they going to put their money? They're not putting their money in the yuan. They're not putting their money in the euro.
It's funny because I think people just don't realize how economics work, and they don't realize the structure of the global economy and what that even looks like. Yeah, I mean, do you agree?
Yeah,
I feel like people are lacking education. I mean, I didn't learn anything about economics growing up until I screwed up my credit and then
I think we've all done that.
Couldn't buy stuff and anyways, been a long road, man. And I'll tell you what, man, if you make a mistake in your finances when you're early because you don't know no better, you know, you go through high school and even in college, and immediately, like you go from high school to college, the first thing you're supposed to do, and you get congratulated. Like people come back and they're like pumping their fists. They're super happy for you when you go out and you put yourself in $100K debt, right? Like that's literally everyone's like, "Oh my God, congratulations!" Blah blah blah. Like, and maybe that's the right way to go about it. And you invest in yourself. Like I don't know. I don't feel like our mentality. It's not conducive to success out of the gates economically.
Yeah. I mean,
and here's the thing: if you don't know what you want to do for your career, just going all in with $100K in student loan debt for a path that you don't even know. I'm not saying it's the wrong decision, but it might not be the right decision. Put it that way, man. And
I got no qualms with that.
No.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about this. But we're ready to bring our no, we're not. Okay. All right. Again, no one is moving money out of the dollar, but if the US, the Fed, continues to piss off these other countries, they're going to join the whole BRICS thing. Russia and India and China, they're creating their own little currency that's backed by precious metals. I'm just saying, man, don't go too far either way, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's coincidence that the UN comes out and says, hey, central banks, especially the Fed, stop hiking interest rates, and then they have an emergency meeting? You guys think it's a coincidence? What are your thoughts? Let us know. Do you think a Fed pivot is coming? Yes or no? All right. All right. So let's move on to the next piece of news that we are going to cover. All right, just give me dos segundos. So Solana network goes down again. This is sourced from Decrypt. A misconfigured node caused the network to stop processing transactions and go offline on Friday. Shocker. I know Robin's extremely shocked. I know Rocco is so shocked that he had to take today off. He's not here. This is sourced again from Decrypt. So this was the reason, okay? A validator was running a duplicate validator instance, meaning when it was their turn to produce a block, they produced one from each instance for the same slot. So some validators saw the one block, some the others, then couldn't agree which one was correct. So why does this keep happening, man? Like, is it a code thing? Like, what, dude, what is it, man? Like, this is the fourth major outage on Solana. The fourth major outage on Solana. Like, bro, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Solana, what are you doing?
Man, here, okay. Well, first of all,
how could anyone have any faith in Solana? How could you still have faith in Solana?
Solana, you know what their problem is? So let's take
Where
a
do we
quick
start?
look. Okay, let's take a look here. This is their problem. This is the top chains here. And let's just go down the list. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, XRP, Cardano, even Dogecoin. You can even throw, okay, so we'll just stop there at the top 10. All right, so all of these projects, you agree, have a massive user base, right?
User base?
Yeah, like
people
community,
using the
people
ecosystem?
that are transacting in it, that are using it. And the one thing that all of these have in common, outside of Solana, is that they've been building their project for a long time. Bitcoin, obviously, the originator.
BNB's pretty new, right? 4 years.
But they just launched smart contracts. Let's see here. Their chain started in 2017.
Yeah.
And I don't think the smart contract started till 2019. And so
3 years, essentially.
they've had a lot of room to run. And remember, Binance Smart Chain was for the most part a copy of Ethereum. And so Ethereum has been in the works for quite some time. And so where I'm getting at here is that, one, all the top projects have been building for years and years and years, especially Ethereum. We see the grueling process that Cardano has taken with its roadmap. And now you have one outlier here in the top group, and it's Solana.
So then why is it still in the top 10?
Because of corporate investments and institutional backing.
How
It's not sustainable. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how much money you got in a project. Doesn't matter how bad you want it to work. It's like that the rich guy that has like the kid that he wants to be successful, and then he just ends up being a degen, and he just like doesn't get off the couch. Like you can hire tutors, you can send them off to boot camp or whatever kind of college. If the dude don't got motivation, he ain't gonna make it. Doesn't matter how bad his dad wants him to succeed. It doesn't matter how bad the institutions want Solana to work. If it doesn't work, if it can't stay on, it ain't gonna work. And you know what? Right now, this is a new game. Right now, this crypto space is fresh, it's young, but you fast forward 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when crypto is integrated into our everyday lives, and everybody's transacting with crypto in some form, then you can't go down like that. That's not an option, right?
So yeah, still in beta, right?
They say it's in beta, but here's the thing: like it's whatever. The thing is everyone was clowning Solana, and I was actually
were they right in doing so?
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, they have $14 billion in their project. $14 billion is their market cap. And so you got a lot of people's money tied up in there, man. Can't have this happen, man. This can't happen. It can't happen.
Strictly Sports says way more than 4 outages, yes, but they count this as a major outage, which in their count, it was only 4. We know the network's gone down way more. But it just seems like, and again, I'm not a developer, I'm not a coder, so I'm not going to go to, but it's like the issue they described, a validator was running a duplicate validator instance, meaning it was their turn to produce a block. They produced one from each instance for the same slot, so some validators saw the one block, some saw the other. Like, doesn't that just sound like kind of common sense, bro, right? I mean, oh, sorry. Isn't that common sense?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we're not developers here, but let me ask you this question. I wish Forrest was on today, and I'm going to ask him on Friday. He launched his NFT on Solana. Would you feel comfortable doing anything on Solana if you were launching a new token, a business, anything, an NFT line?
I think it's all about options, though. I think it's a lack of options if you want to be outside the Ethereum space. And so, one, you can use Ethereum. It's congested, high gas fees, and not to mention there's a ton of competition. So if you launch a project on Ethereum, you're mixed in with a lot of other people. So you got to really stand out there. And because of your options, where else are you going to go that has a community that can support a big NFT project? Right? That is what I'm saying. Like the options are limited. You have Avalanche, Cardano,
Flow.
Maybe Flow, but are people are you know what I mean? Are people doing the Flow's known for the institutional NFTs, right?
Well, yeah, but they also.
I'm not saying they don't have a space for it. I'm not saying they don't have a marketplace. I'm just saying that realistically, if you're looking to get into the NFT market as a retail individual like myself or for you, you're probably not going to be scouring the Flow marketplace, right? That's where I'm getting at. So I don't know, man. I think Solana got to fix it. Here's my thing. If Solana has any outages in the next bull run, they're done. You got 2 years. You got 2 years to figure this thing out, Solana.
You're giving them another 2 years, bro?
I'm not giving them anything. I'm just saying that realistically, at the speed that this market is moving, the speed that everybody is building, if Solana doesn't fix this and move forward on their roadmap, there's going to be 10, 20 projects that are going to be building, that are going to be improving, innovating, and they're going to pass them. It's that simple.
Also, big shout out to Jimmy for gifting another 5 memberships. Guys, this happens almost every show. So if you're not a member yet and you want a free month membership to Sin City Crypto, make sure you allow gifts. Also, Rob, will you give a special hola to Crypto Euthanasia?
Crypto Euthanasia. Hola! Welcome. Sin City Crypto.
It's terrible. Cryptophagia.
All right. Anyways, I think we're about ready to bring our
Are we?
Yeah.
Ready. All right.
Yeah,
So we have a
bring in
special
Jason.
guest joining us today. We have Jason from the Chain of Blocks. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Jason, how you doing, my friend?
Hey. Hello.
Jason, can you hear us? Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Jason? Can you hear us?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you both. Good to be here.
Awesome.
Happy to
Good
be
to-
with you guys.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I'm David, by the way. It's our first time meeting. And the dude with the Raiders gear all the time is Robin. So first and foremost, we know you're a busy
First
man.
win.
There it is.
If you ain't first, you're last, or something like that. I don't know if that pertains to this, but
Kind of like myself. I'm a late bloomer. So.
right, yeah, okay. You still haven't bloomed yet. Anyways, we know you're busy. We just wanted to thank you for taking the time to come impart your knowledge on us and our community. Just if you want to take a couple minutes, Jason, maybe spend some time talk about your journey, how you got to where you are, and what viewers can expect when they come to your channel.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys again for having me on here. So I have a computer science background and went to school for network systems administration. Kind of first job out of that was working for a payments company. So basically a middleman processor connects retail merchants to Visa, MasterCard, so they can process their payments. From there, I started researching a lot about crypto. This was 2017, 2016. Started writing a blog where I would just kind of Cardano was brand new, Polkadot was just branching off, and all of these things, and started writing about these different protocols. Really was just interested in the actual technology. How did these things work? And coming from a payments processor where these people are just making tons of money, not even really necessary, just a third-party intermediary. Like, well, this whole crypto thing maybe is going to be something pretty big. So I was writing this blog for a while. No one would come and read it back in 2017. But then I started, thinking maybe I would start talking about these things on YouTube videos. And obviously, this space, you guys know, has become extremely saturated. But there's people like you, and hopefully people like myself that are trying to, put out some decent information out there, because there is a lot of misinformation. But I like to find channels like you guys that are, just keeping up with it and keeping everybody afloat. Not, so much of the pump here. We're going to 100x, 1000x. Try to keep it real on my channel. Obviously people are in here for investment to make a little profit, but what is actually behind this is actually pretty exciting as well. So I try to, give both sides of it, keep it, real as possible as well.
So I came across your channel actually because Do Kwon has been in the news quite.
Who's that? Who's that? I'm sorry.
No Kwon. No qualms, Do Kwon. So he's been on the radar, and so obviously what we do is when we get to start our day, we go through all of our research, and there's been no shortage of Do Kwon at the top of our list, and obviously with the whole Interpol thing. So, anyways. I came across in doing research. I came across your channel, and you're one of the few people that has like a good beat on what's going on with him. You know, he's been out on Twitter. So just to give a little backstory, and I'll let you expand on it because you obviously know more about it than I do. But just to expand to the audience here, Do Kwon is wanted by Interpol, which is like the
International police.
The international police. That's the one that James Bond is always like trying to work with. Now, he's been wanted by them, and then also he's been accused of stealing $67 million, I think it was, or taking $67 million out of the Terra Luna Foundation as a withdrawal before, and now. For both of those situations or accusations, or Interpol is not an accusation; he's actually wanted. The other one with the amount is not in the form of charges, but it's speculated that he did remove a large sum of money before the project went before he was wanted. Now, my question is, well, first of all, and then the last thing to add on this is that he's been defending himself on Twitter. He says, for one, he's not wanted by Interpol, or no, he's not running from Interpol, that he's not hiding. He's out in plain sight shopping, apparently. And then also he says that he didn't take any money out of the Luna Foundation and that he's clean as a whistle. Yeah. So what insights do you have on Mr. Do Kwon?
You know, it's a lot. I mean, because it's almost like a new thing every day with this guy. But you know, I think what everybody has just asked from the beginning is, you know, I'd like to believe the guy. I mean, I really would. I think he's lying because he's not willing to come forth with, you know, crypto. What we love about crypto is at its very nature, it is transparent, right? You make a transaction, anybody in the world can come see that transaction. There's no secrets. It's all there. So I think what everybody in this community, you know, the old, I guess, Luna community is asking for is where's the proof? Where show us the addresses so we can go look for ourselves, right? If you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to hide. So, you know, it's interesting with him because he's such an unlikable character as well, right? Like, you know, if you were a little bit, you know, modest, the thing also too, if you're not hiding and you feel like you've done nothing wrong, still he admits that there was a mistake, right? That's his whole defense is this was a mistake. I thought Terra UST at the time was good, would work. But the thing about it is it didn't work. And there's been just no contrition from him. People lost, I mean, so much money. And look, buyer beware, obviously. Everybody should learn a lesson from this. But, you know, it would be nice if you know, felt that you didn't do anything wrong and it was just a mistake, to show a little contrition for the people. And, you know, I could go on, guys, but like I might get a little bit choked up here. But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, I think we just all want to see the proof. And until we see the proof, no one is going to believe this guy. And you know, they'll eventually find him. I think most likely he's in Singapore right now. That seems to be where he last was before his passport was invalidated. So look, if you have an invalidated passport, his work permit to be able to work in Singapore, I believe, is running out in early December as well. So it's possible that the Singapore police is protecting this guy. I think we just all want the truth. Like, I don't know that anybody feels that they're going to get their money back at this point. So I think you'll just want to see what is the actual truth with this.
You think if he gets caught, he'll serve some time? Or do you think?
I think so. I think a lot of these guys are going to serve. I mean, Alex Mashinsky from Celsius, the recent news about him, I think that guy's probably got some time coming. I think, you know, by the end of it, we may need an entire crypto jail when you talk about what, you know, Kyle Davies, Suzu. Now
like an Alcatraz? Like an Alcatraz
nice,
only for crypto DJs? Then, yeah, you know, you brought up.
I don't know.
You brought up Alex. You know, I read yesterday. This was per the courts.
Oh, yeah.
He withdrew $10 million
days before.
Yeah, days before. And this isn't an accusation. This is literally court documents. A lot
of scammers out there.
About it is, these guys were telling you they were doing this while they were telling you, steady lads, deploying more capital. I'm not, you know, it's getting better for some. They were actually coming out and saying these complete lies, right? These were actually complete lies. And, you know, while they were withdrawing millions of dollars behind the scenes. So it's kind of disgusting. It really gives crypto a bad name. And, we're seeing it now. I mean, we're seeing a lot of this DeFi NFT bubble collapsing, with Ethereum dropping a little bit. And I don't see it really getting much better on an entire global scale. Like, why would crypto suddenly rebound when most likely we're going to see CPI numbers that come out? I don't think we've peaked on inflation. I'm paying over $7 for gas, a gallon in California right now. And I know that doesn't factor into the core CPE, but everything revolves around gas. So everything is going up because of the gas, and nothing is peaking in my opinion. So while we see these things on Wall Street Journal that come out today that, the UN is putting pressure on the Fed to stop interest rates, I don't feel like they're going to. And I mean, they probably shouldn't. They've messed up so colossally for 2 years. We have to pay a little bit of the price. But guys, I think it's going to be another point to a point and a half throughout the end of this year, which is not going to bode well for any real market. I mean, just my opinion.
You mentioned collapse, right? Well, another chain that seems to collapse all the time is Solana. And I know you mentioned, you have a background in computer science and software. I just want to read, did you catch the reason why? And I'll just read it really quick. A validator was running a duplicate validator instance, meaning when it was their turn to produce a block, they produced one from each instance for the same slot. So some validators saw the one block, some saw the others, then couldn't agree which one was correct. Now, let me remind you, the fourth major outage, this is per the Solana Foundation. We know it's way more. This network keeps going down. They keep hiding behind the we're still in beta. Is this something that can you just expand on this? Is this like elementary, like coding development, or is this what's going on here?
Yeah, so look, Solana, they call them, this is a centralized solution, right? They control everything. So look, in blockchain, it's not uncommon to have multiple chains going at the same time. But I mean, the way Bitcoin works around this, the longest chain just wins out. So the fact that these problems continue to happen, and I don't follow Solana as much as maybe you guys do, but look, none of Cardano, Polkadot never has any of these problems. Ethereum, they've had problems before, but look, to have it happen over and over again, when you have and the thing about Solana, again, I don't claim to be an expert on Solana. I know they have a lot of funding from a lot of big players, right? It just leads me to believe that this is not such a decentralized space. I feel like there's too much control from some of these outside players to make it a full decentralized economy. And the fact that this probably has nothing to do with the outages, in my opinion, but the fact that you're just having these problems continue to go on and on and on, and I don't know if they even because I don't follow it a lot. I don't know if they even go back and address it after the fact and say this is what happened, this is our plans to fix it. It just seems like it's almost like a cluster moving forward with Solana time after time after time. And it kind of reminds me, because they had such a meteoric rise last year, like a Luna. I'm not saying they're going to collapse like that, not at all. But I just feel like we're not going to have 30 different blockchains moving forward, right? There's going to be a couple, or two or three, and there may be a couple that offer some sort of interoperability. And then the building is just going to commence on these chains. What Solana is showing us right now is they don't really offer a lot of the solutions of decentralized blockchain technology.
Well, what we were discussing is the simple fact that if Solana can't figure out their outage issue, which is, I think, outside of an exploit where you were hemorrhaging tokens, or you're losing people's coins. Outside of something of that nature, outage is number two, and it's a close number two. You can't have the network go down. And if the next bull run if they don't fix that issue coming into the next bull run, so 2024, I guess, would be kind of is what it looks like it's shaping up to be. If that ain't fixed by then, there's going to be other chains out there, layer ones, that will get corporate adoption or institutional adoption, or has investments from venture capital and the likes that propped up Solana. That money is going to move, and they're going to leave something that isn't scaling, because that's essentially what's happening. It's not like I think they're trying to scale. They just can't. They can't keep the chain up.
Here's the thing,
and if they don't fix it by the next bull run, People are going to go elsewhere. Other chains are going to innovate. They're going to improve. They're going to shoot past them.
And here's the thing. You guys both mentioned that they got a lot of VC money behind them. Well, guess what? That could change really fast too. VCs, because I don't know how the terms of their investment is, but if they're giving them more money, they can stop that. They can obviously not put any more money in. And on top of that, they can just come out and say, hey, Solana, we're not putting any money in Solana to kind of break that bond they have. Well, I don't know the right word I'm trying to use here, but the connection they have to Solana, they can break away from that. All right. I want to move on to an influencer. Well, she was known much more than influencer when she first started, but Kim Kardashian has been charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's a source from BN Crypto. She was charged with unlawfully shilling a dodgy crypto token to her more than 200 million Instagram followers. Along with Kim, Jake Paul, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. also promoted, and the token in question is Ethereum Max. She failed to properly disclose her involvement with the project, specifically a payment of $250,000. Now, here's what she said and what she'll pay. So, a couple things she said. This is when she put it on her Instagram. Are you guys into crypto? This is not any financial advice, but sharing what my friends just told me about the Ethereum Max token. She also posted a few minutes ago, Ethereum Max burned 400 trillion tokens, literally 50% of their admin wallet, giving back to the entire Emax community, which is total horse crap. So what is she going to pay? Well, $1 million penalty, $260,000 in disgorgement, and a 3-year ban on promoting any crypto assets. Do you agree with this?
And then 1 second, I'm going to also pull up the just so you guys can see what Ethereum Max looks like. I don't know.
Do we want to see what it looks like?
There it is. There's the chart. So started with a bunch of zeros and added more zeros. And so the timeline for this here, when she announced it, I think they were on the come down of this here. So that tweet. Do you have the date of the tweet? No.
No.
Either way, it coincides here with the big pump.
Oh yeah.
And then you had the big sell off. Also, I remember Floyd Mayweather, local Las Vegas gentleman as
Classic pump and dump. Now,
and he also has, speaking of pump and dump, he also has a gold toilet seat. Did you know that? Solid gold toilet seat.
Wow, that's great information.
It's literally.
Our viewers wouldn't have been able to continue their life if they didn't know that he had that.
There you go.
Jason, do you think...
I remember him wearing a Ethereum Max shirt walking in on a fight one time, too. I mean, you got to think that could show to millions and millions of people. So, yeah,
do you think this is this right? Like, should people be held accountable for these pump and dumps, whether it's on purpose or on accident? I mean,
Yeah, so look, it's a good question because, and there's this which just happened recently, and I think this a little bit. To say that Kim wanted to go and fool her, her followers and get them to invest in something where she was making money and do it on purpose, I don't know if that was the case here. I just feel like this one was more of a case of it's so much money for 3 tweets. Like, who could really turn that down? I feel that they should just, it's probably good that this is happening because it'll make these influencers, these celebrities more aware of what they are actually doing, the potential risks, and maybe how they should go about warning their followers, their subscribers. Because you guys know, I'm sure you guys get contacted by plenty of people. Can you promote this? Can you promote this on our channel? In addition to what this story just came out today, but a couple days ago, I don't know if you guys follow Lark Davis, but there was a whole thing on Twitter about him, about all of the shilling that he's been doing over the past years, hundreds of thousands of dollars, just as somebody with, basically 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So I feel like it's a very dangerous area. I'm not going to say I've never promoted a product. My feeling is I get a lot of requests. I take maybe like less than 1%, and they're generally products that I already use. And generally when I do them, I take a portion or half of what I actually get and do some sort of giveaway for my community. So I feel like it does give this everything that's going on right now. And we see these in this bear market, right? When it's a bull market, just like when you're winning in sports, when you're winning, covers up a lot of problems, right? No one's talking about the influencers that are pushing the projects. No one's talking about all this low-level stuff. But when things aren't going well, everybody's got to point and look for all these problems and clean it up, and this is all the problems. So I think we're obviously still in this bear market where we're doing these things. I would like to see, like, look, she's going to pay whatever, $1.8 million. It's like an average individual getting a $700 fine. So look, it's not really going to not deter her. Who gets the money? Does the money go to the SEC or does the money go to the victims? There's a lot of questions.
Gary Gensler gets it.
Yeah, of course.
It does go to the SEC.
They need more money for the Ripple lawsuit.
They've hired a lot of new agents as well, from my understanding. We are seeing a shift when it comes to accountability from content creators and celebrities when it comes to crypto. Not only even our like people like ourselves, our YouTubers. We saw Ian getting sued by the SEC, the founder of Token Metrics. You had Jake Paul also. He got sued for his. What did Jake Paul get sued?
A bunch.
Yeah, it was. I think it was
like three.
Safe Moon. Was it Safe Moon?
Yeah, and then there was three NFT projects too.
Yeah,
it was either Logan or Jake.
Yeah, and then obviously even Floyd Mayweather has other investments that are in crypto as well, some NFT projects, and so
for me it's simple. Just be honest and transparent. If you're getting paid to talk about something, just say it. Hey guys, this is a sponsored video. Okay, so here's the thing. Do you think she would be free of litigation if she would have said, "Hey, I'm promoting Ethereum Max. They're paying me for it. They're my sponsor. I'm not, this isn't financial advice, and I don't recommend you go out there and do it, but I'm just bringing it to your attention. It seems like it has some kind of promise to it." Something.
Do you think if she would have did that, she would still get sued, or do you think
probably? I mean, I don't know the exact details, and I don't know if Jason does either, but
yeah.
Do you know the details?
Yeah, I didn't dig into Ethereum Max too much to know what it is. My guess is it's probably one, without looking into it. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But my guess is it's probably one of these like deflationary type of tokens with no use case that just runs on Ethereum. And anytime somebody buys, they burn it. And some sells, they burn it. So it doesn't do anything, I don't think. And that's a lot of these things. That's a lot of these applications right now. They just are there because people want to create a token. They want to get some funding. And a lot of them, unfortunately, have been, Ethereum Maxes or, even like a Moon token or a Safe Moon. Like, I know that's still around, but it's just like, once you pump that and it comes back, who's there to pump that again? It doesn't do anything. Like, there's no utility behind the project. So
I agree. Jason, we are going to let you go, my friend. We wanted to thank you so much for joining us. Where can they, so we have the link to Jason's YouTube. Guys, all we ask as a member of our community, go support the guests that come on our show. They ask for literally nothing in return, and they take time out of their day to impart their knowledge. So all we can do is support. So go subscribe to A Chain of Blocks on YouTube. The link is in the description of this video. Jason, also, can they follow you? Like, are you active on Twitter more, Instagram? Where are you the most active on social media?
Yeah, I'm trying to do a lot of like Instagram and TikTok stuff, kind of chop up like the videos, make them more consumable. So yeah, on both of those as well. A Chain of Blocks everywhere. Thank you guys.
Fair enough. My pleasure. And Jason, thank you so much again. We appreciate you, and we look forward to bringing you on again in the future.
All right.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you. Anytime.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Do you think he knows where Do Kwon is?
I don't know. Why didn't you ask him? All right, so let's move on to some other news here. Coinbase, over the weekend, people were freaking out. They're reporting withdrawal issues. This is sourced from BN Crypto. Users experienced problems leading to failures for bank withdrawals, deposits, and buys. Says the next one is a quote from Coinbase. "We are currently unable to take payments or make withdrawals involving U.S. bank accounts. Our team is aware of this issue and is working on getting everything back to normal as soon as possible." Now, this was over the weekend, so I believe everything is solved, but still, people didn't have access to their money. And then they also have users complain they have not been able to use their Coinbase cards for paying bills. So just a slew of issues for for Coinbase.
You know what's funny is that
Is this a precursor?
no. You know what's funny is that you put these articles today, and I was quite busy, so I hadn't had a chance to read over them. And I literally was trying to withdraw some money from Coinbase yesterday. I just bought a car, by the way.
Did you really?
There was actually
I know you bought a car.
over the weekend, and I was like, "Yo, what the hell, man? This thing's all working." And then I was kind of busy, so I didn't have time to like dig deep into it. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And now I'm like reading this, and I'm like, oh, okay, wasn't just me. Okay.
Now, there was a lot of volatility expected over the weekend with all these options expiring. Also, remember, guys, 34,500 Bitcoin left exchanges on September 30th, one day. That was Friday. So could that have something to do with it? They're never going to say. But as far as being worried about them not having the funds or them going under, we always recommend self-custody. Always. But as of right now, I don't think you should be too worried about Coinbase going under. Now, anything can happen, you guys. Anything can happen. Coinbase can go under. Saying the likelihood of it happening is not very high. I feel pretty confident. I do have a little bit of money on Coinbase that I kind of use to buy, sell stuff here and there. But yeah, as far as worrying about it going under and oh my God, they're insolvent, I wouldn't worry about that. There's nothing like Celsius, nothing like Voyager. Voyager was a brokerage firm lending money out. Coinbase, a majority of their money comes from transaction fees. So nothing to be too worried about. Right, Robin? Am I right or you disagree?
No, yeah, they should be good. Any issues that Coinbase has had has usually been pretty short-lived. I haven't seen anything that's ever really lasted any significant period of time, at least not from my personal memory.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to discuss the poll is over. We are done with the poll.
What happened?
Where do you think we came in at?
I don't remember the question.
The price of Bitcoin.
Oh, 14 or 30?
Yeah. So the options were 14K. Which one will come first? We had 48% at 14K with 34% at
30K.
At 30K, and we also had a 17% said that it would come in even below 14,000.
Wow. So you guys don't believe in October, huh? I believe in October. I think October is gonna be good. Okay, now
are you a fan of Halloween?
No, I don't.
No,
I hate Halloween.
I think America's
that's what I'm saying. Like
it's America's greatest holiday for people that are under 30. If you're under 30,
my wife's already planning. I'm like, I don't give a crap about Halloween, bro. All right, we have to cover this before we go, so we're gonna go a little over our allotted time, but it's very, very important. There's two banking giants that are on the brink of collapse. The source from BN Crypto and other sources as well. Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank are set to be in financial difficulty. The two banks' shares are trading below the value of their company assets were they to be liquidated. And you don't need to have a PhD in finance to know that that's not good. Credit Suisse execs said this is a critical moment for the entire organization. They are looking to build or to raise more money. Now, this next piece of information here is more focused on Credit Suisse. A large investor that deals with Credit Suisse said the investment bank is a disaster and is trading like a Lehman moment is about to hit. Some of their numbers: 160 billion in cash, 400 billion at call liabilities, 900 billion in leverage exposure, and 40 billion in equities. Now, I pulled up some of their numbers and statistics from their actual website, and I want to share this with you guys. So this is from Credit Suisse's website, okay? Net revenues. So let's take a look here. Q2 of 21 was at 5.1 billion. Then it dropped to 4.4 billion Q1 this year, and Q2 it dropped to 3.6. So you're talking about, what, a 25-30% decrease in net revenue from Q2 of last year to Q2 of this year? Total operating expenses, completely out of whack. They were fine in Q2 of last year, completely fell out of whack in just the beginning of this year. Cost to income ratio, guys, this is kind of like debt to GDP, right? how much money's coming in versus how much debt and liabilities you have. 130%. 130%.
And this is for one of the banks, right?
This is for
both?
Credit Suisse.
It's for Credit
Suisse.
Okay.
And assets under management has completely plummeted from 1.6 billion of Q2 of last year to 1.5 billion Q1 of this year, 1.4 Q2 of this year. Now, you don't need me to tell you this, but if a banking giant like Credit Suisse and a banking giant like Deutsche Bank go under, guys, this is going to have resounding effects, not only on the traditional markets, but everything. Risk on assets, risk off assets, everything. This could be the first shoe to drop that is a catalyst that everyone, this whole giant recession, everything's going to crash and burn. This might be the catalyst to do it. Robin, do you agree?
Well, here's one thing I know. Let's just say they were about to go under or going under or whatever. Let's just say the dominoes started falling. Ain't nobody going to bail them out. Do you agree?
I mean, can anyone bail them out?
That's what I'm saying. Like, ain't nobody going to bail them out. And I don't think it's because they wouldn't want to. I'm just saying that the pushback that the UK got when they cut taxes for the rich was crazy. I think that's the biggest uproar I've seen when it comes to tax cuts and monetary policy, right? Yeah. I mean, you literally had an entire nation, their economy just dumped off of the news that politicians were going to cut taxes for rich people. What do you think the European Union, what do you think the Europeans would do when all of a sudden they're told that, hey, you need to scale back your energy? Literally, that's what's going on in Germany right now. They're telling business owners, like, hey, use less energy, otherwise we all gonna be out here freezing in the winter. And that's literally the message they're giving. Now, at the same time, do you think the European Union or any country in the European Union, any of them, just individually, do you think they could withstand some PR move where the federal government, as bad as inflation is, as bad as the currency is, as bad as the situation is in Europe, you think any country would have the balls to bail out a Swiss bank because of their issues with their books?
Here's the thing, like, it's no secret, a lot of wealthy individuals and corporations, they have their money sheltered in Switzerland. And
if the Swiss bank goes down, bro, it's a spider web. Like, when I say dominoes, I ain't talking about little banks. I ain't talking about little banks in Europe. I'm talking about the dominoes start falling. There is massive amount of interconnected bank accounts and funds between central banks, between high net worth individuals, between CEOs, between institutions.
Like Luna times 10, right?
Bro, it's literally like, something of that magnitude. Think of Luna, but on the
macro,
on the legacy finance side. And if those dominoes start falling, banks across the world are going to go under. Banks, central banks are going to hemorrhage. It's going to be a post-apocalyptic legacy finance world.
And here's the thing: if that happens, you're going to look at the governments. They're not going to let. I mean, I don't think they can let the bank go under, even if inflation's high. Would you rather have?
But that's what I'm saying. That's literally how I opened it up, because they're on the path to go under. And it's literally my opening statement. Is somebody gonna bail them out? Nah. Nope. And so
they might have to. The government might have to. They might have to. They might have to, bro. We're talking millions and millions, if not a couple billion people.
Bro, inflation is so bad in Europe.
Inflation or make 10% of the world's population
Germany's
poor.
Inflation just hit World War II high. And UK's inflation
they're both shitty situations. Which shitty situation would you have? High inflation or people losing their everything?
I'm just saying, that ain't.
We'll see. Well, as this unfolds, we will continue to bring the information to you guys. But That'll do it for our show today. Huge thank you to Jason from A Chain of Blocks for joining our show today. Make sure you go support him. Subscribe to his channel. Also, come support Big Rob on Around the Blockchain today at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, merch store. Join our Discord as well. Community Demand Discord. Big shout out to Marky Mark, who runs it. Also, check out all of our social medias. The link tree is in our bio. We're active on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, much, much more. And if you're not a member of the channel, which I don't know how the hell you're not with all these gifted memberships, but feel free to either renew your membership to help support the channel. We don't do any sponsored content at the moment. We've turned everything down so far. So we do have some overhead here with the studio. We do use that money to pay our bills. So big shout out to people that continue to pay and are members of our community. We appreciate you guys. That'll do it. Rocco? Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends. On behalf of myself, Big Rob, and the Don, we thank you guys so much for starting the week off with us here at Sin City Crypto.
See you in 2 hours.
See you in 2 hours, and come back tomorrow, 10:30 in Las Vegas time. Until then, we love you. Say you like boo. No, the new street video did not come out yet.
Should be sometime this week.
Sometime this week. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a good one. I gotta pee.
That was good to know. That was good to know.
Being trick-or-treating out of this, all right? Brokioshi, it ain't no October, bro. It's Uptober, my dude. Come on, man, get with the
I'm
program.
gonna use that October.
Probably gonna be. It'll be a thumbnail here soon.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it on the
show today.
on the Around the Blockchain.
All right. Well, you make sure you give my boy his credit. All right. Rokioshi, you about to get a shout out on ECB.